All right, friends, today we have build number 37. We are building the core today. We are going to be using a small kettlebell. We're going back into Turkish Get-ups. I've definitely been into those lately. And you will also need a resistance band tube. If you don't have one, you can use a foam roller that we'll be using or some other kind of stick or towel that you can grab and put just some tension on. So we're gonna be starting with our foam roller. So lie on your back and put your roller directly under the base of your skull. So right at the end of your head, where your head hits your neck, there's these little nubbies that feel real good when you push in to the base of the skull on that roller. So once you have that point, just rotate your head left and right, spread across your upper body. And then stay with your head looking to the left and not up and down. It's okay if the roller moves with you a bit. And then turn your head to the right, not up and down. And then center, not up and down. And then we'll go ahead and roll on down the back. So start with your roller right at the top of your mid back, right between your shoulder blades. We'll just take a couple passes up and down there. Be careful how far you go down your back. You just want to be able to support your low back. So however low you go, keep that core engaged. So your hips are lifted. You got to use some activation in the hamstrings here. And then just lean a little bit to the left. And then lean a little bit to the right. And then let's go ahead and keep moving down into the glutes. So sit up on your roller and roll one side. I kind of like to focus on one glute, so put a little bit more pressure there. Depending on how tender you are, you might just want to sit. You can just sit and hang out and maybe move and sit. So eventually it won't be quite as tender. So what we're doing is kind of helping to rehydrate and build flexibility and malleability in the fascia. This doesn't actually break down knots. If you have knots, move to that other glute. But it helps to keep everything a little bit more hydrated. And like I said, malleable, supple, flexible. All right. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to flip over, hit around our hip flexors, and then we'll move on. All right, so lie your roller, and I have a small one, but a large one works just as well. My bigger one I keep in the house because I like to roll before I go to bed, and if it's inside in the living room, then there's a much better chance that I'll use it. Doesn't really help with the decor, but you know what? How my body feels going to bed is way more important. Just roll around. You'll feel that tender spot just kind of hang there a sec. All right, move to the other side. Dig around in there. All right. Go ahead and get rid of your roller. And let's move into our hands and knees. Set your hands right underneath the shoulders, feet right underneath, or knees right underneath your hips. And I want you to go ahead and inhale, push your chest forward. Let your head come back. Feel lots of space in your rib cage as you slide your shoulder blades down, and then exhale round through the back. Dome through that upper back. Really push in the hands. Really pull through those feet. You should feel your core and abdomen heat up here. One more like that, real big. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Exhale, and round. All right, neutralize your spine, and we're going to let the hips hinge to the right. Let them just kind of get a little stretch through that low back, and then slide your hips way over to the left. Again, stretch. You should feel a stretch to the side of the hip, maybe a little bit in that low back to the right, and then back to the left. Perfect. All right, and then just go ahead and sit back on your haunches. Enjoy a nice long child's pose. Reach your arms way far in front. Put your forehead on the ground and keep your elbows up off the mat. Engage through the belly. Focus on your breath. Get some nice big inhales and exhales. All right, lastly, before we really get going, let's do our thoracic twist. So come back to your hands and knees. Take your left hand, set it behind your head. Inhale, rotate through the mid-back, keeping the hips as level as possible. And then exhale, drop your elbow to your wrist. Inhale up, exhale, drop. This is 3. Let's go to 5. 4, check in. Notice what's going on. 5. Other side. Plant that hand, rotate. Oh, get that twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's get to work really on that core. So we're going to start off with 20 bear walks. So our bear is going back into our hands and knees that we just came from, but our knees are going to be up off the ground. All right, so spread those fingertips nice and wide, shoulders right up over those wrists. Start with your knees under the hips. Curl your toes under, and then your knees lift barely off the ground. So here first, let's grab the core, slide shoulder blades down. Find lots and lots of contraction through the transverse muscles in your belly. Those are on the sides of the rib cage. And then we're going to walk left leg back, right leg back. But I still want your shins parallel to the ground and the hips lining up with the shoulders. Then left in and right in. All right, here we go. 2. We're going to go 10. Left leg lead first, and then 10. Right leg lead first. 4. Focus that core. Your shoulders need to stay really high over those wrists. 7. Flex deeper into that belly. 'Okay, here's 10. Now step your right leg back first. 1. Brace into your back. You got it. Find that core. 'Feels good. Light up that belly. 8, 9, and 10. Whew, perfect. Okay, now we're going to rotate to the side, and we are going to do a side plank with a rainbow leg. All right, so move this guy. You can set up on your elbow, and we're going to push the hips up off the ground into a side plank. So you have a few different options. If you get to the point that you can't move this top leg in a full side plank, you're going to come into a supported side plank. So your knees on the ground, elbow, if you want to lift up onto the hand, that's fine. We're going to be taking the top leg from the front to the back, trying to keep the hips as still as possible. If you need to stay on the bottom hip, that's actually fine too. I want you to get this top leg moved, and what you have to do is really engage that core. Find yourself flexion to get the leg to move without the body moving forward and back. All right, so we're going to go 10. Here we go. Drive it up. Lift open. 1. Here we go. 2. Big lift. Forward and back. 4. Big rainbow up over that leg. 7. 9. And 10. Perfect. All right, flip it around. Go on to the other side. Remember all your different options. Lift up. Here we go. 1. Drop that foot in the back and then to the front. 2. You got it. 5. Starting with the bracing of the core. And then you'll feel those legs, the back. 8, 9, and 10. All right, enjoy a little child's pose. Stretch it all out, and then we're going to go back to the first side. Lots of obliques today. All right, so we're going to head back to our side plank. You have the same options as we talked through the first time, on your knee or on your hip or all the way into your side plank. And then we're going to do a shooting star. So everything starts together. I want you to lift arm and leg. 2, 3, 4. Something about lifting that arm too makes you kind of go off balance. So you find a lot more work that you have to stabilize with through that torso. 2 more. 9, 10. Whew. All right. Other side. Set it up. Start with your hand on your hip. Here we go. 1. You really have to get that shoulder right over your elbow too. That way you have support helping with the back. You're not just supporting with your shoulder. 6, 7, 9, and 10. Whew. All right. Now we're going to grab that band. We actually only have 2 exercises to finish the round. Okay, so take your band. We're going to flip our wrists around. So create tension. You're going to be pulling against that band. Create a lunge stance. Okay, so you're going to start at the front of your mat, feet hip width. Take one leg back. You're going to start with your arms up overhead, pulling tension on your band. Drop deep into a lunge. I want your back knee to barely tap the ground. So you're not relaxing. You're still in support. But then those arms are pulling and twisting. Okay, come all the way up and then drop. Flex deep into that torso. 2. Lock deep into that core. 3, we're building mobility through the mid-back into that rotation. But remember, this is a trunk core exercise. So focus through that abdomen. Oh, big twist. 7, 8. So that back hand gets a little bit lower than the front one. Big twist. 9. Drop and twist. 10. Other side. Lunge and rotate. 1. See if you can feel the oblique pulling that twist back. 3. Not trying to rush these at all. In fact, trying to slow them down. 5. Remember what you're here for. That core. 6. Oh, good twist. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right. You might not get that full twist. That's okay. It kind of depends on mobility, but you can really get that feel in through there. All right. We are back into Turkish Get-ups. We did these recently, but not the full way up. So we're slowing it way down. We're only going to do 3. So you're going to grab kettlebell or dumbbell, lie it down, Okay, the biggest thing if you're holding weight, you don't have to hold weight, but if you're holding weight, you need to set into the muscles in the back. So your arm has to stay firm, straight, and driven into the back. All right, if your left arm's holding the weight, your left knee is bent. Your right leg's at a slight angle. Look at your bell, set that right arm out. You have to grab core, scoop, and lift all the way up. So tall, tall chest, plant your right hand, lift your hips off the ground, and then slide, lift and slide the right leg underneath. Bring your left leg forward. So you're shutting the gate, basically, and then you're going to stand into a lunge. I'm going to turn around so I can see you. All right. Now then step the right leg back, open the left knee out, slide your hand down, try to look at that bell. You're going to take your right leg, slide it back under how you had it. Make sure those hips get up, lower the hips, set on your elbow, and then rotate back. 2 more. Lift, push up those hips, tuck that leg under, stack, bring your leg in front, and stand. Right leg back. Open that knee. Drive that hand down. Slide through. 2. Oh, my feet. I don't want my feet coming up. We're learning. Stack, stand. You know I'm wanting to do these more. Arms getting tired. Focus, flex, roll it down. All right. Well, there you have it on that side. Now let's go to the right. Might be switching up my weight next round on that one. All right. Now we're going right side. Right knee bent, right hand holds your bell. Scoop through that core, punch up, lift the hips, slide that left knee under, sit tall, bring your leg forward, and stand. Drop back, open out. Now, if one part of the move doesn't work for you, you can just cut it out and build from the other pieces, or lessen your load and keep training those portions that are difficult. 2. This is just kind of a longevity move and exercise. We should be able to get up off the ground with weight in a healthy manner. Now you can become a part of a Turkish Get Up cult, and I mean that in a good way. Some very serious Turkish Get Up members out there. So you can really geek out on them if you'd like. But basically, they're very useful and necessary move to keep us young and the core strong. All right, nice work. Hinge back. We're going to take a little child's pose. Go ahead and come on up into a downward facing dog. I'm getting sweaty. It means you're using the core. All right, friends, we're back to the top. Going back to those bear walks. Ready, set, and go. Left leg first. Focus that core. Okay, there's 10. Walk the right leg back first. 6. Can you tighten it any deeper? Are your hips staying level? 9 and 10. All right. Moving into our side plank rainbows. All right, set up into that side plank, whatever rendition you'd like. And then lift your leg up and over, creating that rainbow. Your hips are going to want to kind of slide forward and back. And that's where our work is really coming from, keeping them as stable as possible. 8, 9, 10. Swing it around. If you want to just tuck and go to the other side, feel free. I'm going to turn so I can face you. 2. Feel all the feels. What's going on everywhere? 9, 10. All right. Now we're going to do our shooting star. Get back to that first side. I'm also trying to point my toes straight forward instead of up to the ceiling. 5, get to the point you have to fight for it. 7, 10. All right, switch sides. Halfway. 8, 9, 10. My leg feels like it's 1,000 pounds. Alrighty. Grabbing that band. Get it taut. Set up your lunge. Here we go. Square off those hips as you lunge and twist. Make sure you're keeping the hips as square as possible. 3. Get low. Chest stays up. You're just getting that twist, not folding down. 7. Focus on your core. No other things are feeling it here. Want to work from that core first. And 10. All right, step up and switch. These actually feel pretty good. 2, 3. Get mobility, rotation, stretch on that back. 6. Not resting on that knee, just barely kissing the ground with it. 8, 9, and 10. Well done. All right, we have our Turkish Get Up. I'm going to give myself still a couple times to try on the weaker side. I'm going to start on my second side this time. All right. Right arm holds the weight or is up. Right leg is bent. So same arm, same leg. Push your low back into the ground. Drive those hips up. Tuck that leg under. Bring your knee forward. Stand. Use your back and core to support. You can feel that trunk and torso really having to work the whole time. And down. All right. We're always supposed to pretend you're holding the heaviest bell possible so that you don't have the tendency to ever drop that puppy on your face. Protect your face. All right, guys. Last 3, and then we're going to stretch. Same arm, same leg. Grab deep into that core. Scoop. Lift. Slide under. Bring your leg forward and stand. That one felt pretty good. Keep that torso and trunk locked. Make sure the back is supporting the weight. Drive those hips. Come on, set it in. It's easy to want to rush. Let something else take the weight. All right. Good job, everybody. Hug those knees into the chest. Take a deep breath and then circle them around to the right and then to the left. Check in with that back. Set your feet mat width. Arms are out wide. Lower both legs to the right. Put your right foot on top of the left knee. Different kind of intensity than we hit up yesterday. Intervals with our rapid fire moves. Today it was very slow, super controlled. All right, release that right foot. Bring your legs back to center. Just reset everything. Lower your knees to the left. Put your left foot on top of your right knee if you'd like. Spread across those shoulders. Perfect. And then release. All right, we're going to get another little stretch for our back. You kind of find the position and the range that works for you. So I want you to push your low back into the ground. Go ahead and set your hands underneath your booty. Tuck your knees in and then roll up. So plant your hands on your low back and let your feet just reach back behind you. Easy does it. If you'd like to keep pushing until your toes touch the ground, go for it. This is called Plow Pose. Keep your head straight ahead, looking straight up. Try not to turn your head left or right. You can dig into the elbows to help support. You don't want too much pressure on your neck. If you're not able to get here right now, don't worry about it. Eventually, maybe this will be our next series stretch. Who knows? Bend your knees and then slowly lower down. All right, flip over. You know what's coming. Bring on that pigeon. All right, so let's bring our left leg forward. Cross it over to the right side of the mat. Flex your foot. Make sure that the pelvis is square. And then lower on down. Set on your elbows or your hands. You can lower your head onto your hands if you'd like. And then let's take some deep breaths. Just try to settle into the stretch. Notice where it's pulling. Notice if you're getting any better, any looser at this stretch. I'm not sure if better is really the right concept for a stretch. Just feeling it different or feeling more flexible in it. I feel like stretches are very malleable to each person. You should customize it to what feels good for you while still trying to find those positions that keep you safe. All right. Let's bring ourselves up, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Same is true with eating. There are a lot of opinions, scientific-backed research on different ways of eating out there today. My suggestion would be to find what works for you. Quantity and quality are really the two things that can stay consistent. As far as finding your quantity, that's enough, but not too much. And quality, so it's as close to natural as possible. Minimally processed. Focus more on that as opposed to keto, paleo, Mediterranean, or whichever other vegan, vegetarian, carnivore. It's very confusing, even for me. So listen to your body. Watch your body. Perfect. All right. Press up from there. Face the center of your mat. We're going to do a little Z-sit. Lots of little back stretches today. So fold your left leg inside and your right leg out. Then plant your left hand outside your left thigh. We're going to open the chest first. Reach that right arm up. Deep inhale, and then you're going to tuck that right arm under, kind of like you're threading the needle, except we're seated. So you should feel a nice stretch, mid to low back. Oh, feels so good. Little pop. Okay, other side. Right leg in, left leg out. Right hand outside that right thigh. Inhale, open that left arm. Exhale, spin it under. Oh, dig into that right hand to help find your traction on the ground to pull that arm through. All right, well, we'll keep bringing those Turkish get-ups back into the mix. Not too much, but just enough. All right. Just develop those, keep building our backs, our core, the trunk. Keeps us strong and young. All right, I'll see you all next time. Have a great day.